kind of looks like I got the Sex and the City lens. Because there was like a scandal about that, where that show Sex and the City, which I've seen exactly one episode of, the fake nipples episode, where the older lady was like getting the lens blurred for her. But I'm pretty sure um, the war vet guy knocked at the door at 3 o'clock in the morning after I went to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning after playing poker with him on the porch, because he saw the light on in my room, and because I fell asleep with the light on. So, anyways, so before that, I ran out of blood pressure medication. He's always smoking a lot. I'm an addict. Smoking, not good for Steve. Raises the blood pressure. So, I'm not sure how many Valium I took over a 24-hour period, but I have to keep the heart rate low. Because the blood pressure medication, as far as the insurance comes in, or can the insurance covering it doesn't come in until today. Now I heard about this 2 days ago. So 2 days ago I asked him, how much does it cost? And then like I was an idiot or something, like um you're gonna get like for free in like 2 days. And I was like, I know, I already talked to one of you people about this. It's like 2 days is like enough to die. I didn't say that to him. That's what I was thinking. You know, maybe I should just start saying what I'm thinking to people. I mean, I might not live longer, but it might be better. You know, I'm talking about like people like in the medical community connected with pharmacies. I'm not talking about Joe Muscles across the street just saying whatever I think to him. But anyways, I've reached a point where I started thinking about things, and this was like spontaneous things I was thinking about. This is not anything planned, but excuse me. I'm a very, very, very patient person, and you can step on me, and you can step on me, and you can step on me even in combat boots. But you cannot wipe your feet on me. I won't allow it. So I've been thinking of writing a Dear John letter to that whole household, including the grandmother, who was the only one that really changed. Because she has a nephew here that she doesn't want to be around. And because she was who she was, and because she raised her kids like she raised her kids, she's got a grandson that's got problems. So it's just a chicken coming home to roost. But there's this other guy that's really not involved in the picture, that's calming the chicken down, that's letting him drink coffee out of his favorite mug and breaking it. It's giving him a cup of Valium, they're giving him the cool down speech, trying to help out. So he goes over things, and things do not go well. So this woman, and I ain't making no excuses for Noah, I don't care if she's 80, whatever, you know, uh, she knows I got heart problems. She knows I got CRPS. She knows I can barely walk. So she calls me up and chews me out and says, I thought you said he wasn't drunk. And I said, you never asked me if he wasn't drunk. You asked me what he was drinking. I said he was drinking coffee. And then she switched to, I can't handle this stress, you know. I got like heart problems. My doctors don't want me to have stress because of my health problems. Now, what that is called is clinical narcissism. That's not like thinking about other people. So I say, look, the guy lives here. You had to deal with him for 1 hour. And she's like, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry. Words, words, words that don't mean shit to me. So, and then I got the boat guy, who I grew up with, who I protected, who I've always been kind to, always had a spare dollar to. The dude totally breaks promises to me, disrespects my property, screws me out of $900, and doesn't even have the integrity to offer me a dime to make up for the damage that he done to the boat. Then I have another person living in that house. The only time they call me is when they want something. Even when they don't want something, it comes up with me losing money. And then there's this other guy, and that's the guy that brought the crack dealer to my house and caused me to lose my temper, which I couldn't back up that day because I couldn't walk, or I would have went out there and broke bad, no matter how funny that would have looked. And I'm not a funny guy when I'm angry. It doesn't matter if my legs are messed up. I'm not a lot of fun when I'm angry. But I never. I'm right. I'm contemplating it. I already know what I'm going to do about the boat, but I'm contemplating writing a Dear House letter. You know, Dear John letter. It's like, it's been nice. You know, get the fuck out of my life. I've been contemplating writing a Dear House letter. The first thing I'm going to do, since they all hate this guy, it's just a product of them and their behavior and their drug use and their alcoholism, is I'm going to let that guy make a sign, or he can take the boat and he can take it and scrap it for scrap metal. But I'm going to make sure the boat guy knows that this guy that he despises so much, that he was so cold to me over the phone and wouldn't even talk to me about it, and was basically like, I don't want to talk about it. It's like, you know, you're concerned, you're mad at me for trying to take care of your family and trying to calm somebody down who's got issues, to put it mildly. So I'm going to make sure that he knows that that boat, I would like him to scrap it. But, you know, he can make more money off of selling it and then drink it up. Same difference. So I'm going to tell him tomorrow. Because I said, like, man, he owes me $7. I said, you run to the drugstore, and they have a new delivery policy at my drugstore anyway. I was like, you know, just to get it out of the air, just you run to the drugstore and get me blood pressure medication that keeps my heart rate down and keeps me alive. And, you know, he's hammered last night, of course, but I was like, listen, you want to get that medication, don't you? Because you want me alive so you can get more poker money out of me, right? You know, that's only logical. But anyways, so I'm going to make sure that this guy, my foster brother, knows that the person that he likes least in this world took that boat and either drank it up or scrapped it. And I'm going to take the oars and the cushions out of it, which is the only thing he bought, and I'm going to put it behind his garage one way or another. I'll pay somebody, I'll probably pay the guy that's living here, the vet, to walk it down there and just set it behind his garage. And like I said, I'm going to write him a Dear House letter. It's like, everyone in this house to me is dead. You don't exist. And it's like, it's like, I'm not going to list the sins. There's not going to be listed in no sins or no reasons. It's just I'm going to start out telling him what I did with the boat that it was his idea to buy, that I put all the money towards, and I've never been out on with him, and that there's a hell of a story behind it that goes way beyond that, but it goes also way beyond the scope of what I can tell you. But yeah, there's not going to be no details. I'm just going to want him to know that I gave the person he likes the worst in this world, that he likes the least in this world, that boat. And uh, see, without getting too complicated, you got a trailer and you got a boat. You can sell the boat without a notary transfer on the title because the boat don't have a license. But the trailer that it's on has a license. So the boat I can sell, which is the title, which he hasn't given me yet. But once I get the title, and he'll give me the title. Once I get the title and the key to unlock the motor, because it's chained up to the boat, um, let's put a sign out front. Maybe I'll put an ad on eBay. I don't know. Then I'm going to give the trailer to the neighbors over there, and let them scrap it for metal, because they do that a lot. And just forget that. But I'm like, you know, I didn't speak to my father for 13 years and let him die. Um, Part of that process, unfortunately, involved not seeing my mother, who I loved, until she was very far gone, because of a complicated situation I can't go into. I got a sister going on 2 years who won't even acknowledge the fact that uh, treating somebody bad emotionally, who hasn't cried in 29 years, all she has to do is admit it's a fucked up thing, but she doesn't even talk to me. So I think she's kind of written me off as dead too. But yeah, I haven't composed a letter yet. But it's like, you got money, you got all the money you're going to get out of me, so you don't really need me, because I'm not going to give you any more money. You know, I'm going to say a little something here. Sorry about my throat, but I didn't get to sleep and I'm smoking cigarettes. I'm going to tell you something here. When he was young, the boat guy had a friend that shot and murdered one of his friends. And he was all tore up about this guy murdering one of his friends. He's like, I didn't visit him in jail. I think it was laziness, because, he murdered one of my friends. It was a hot-blooded murder. It was over something really stupid. That's that guy's business. I don't really have no axe to grind over that guy. But he did 15 years in prison. Been out of prison for a few years now, because he went in as a very young man. So, I forget what I was calling the boat guy over, my foster brother. Over. But he's over at this guy's house watching a movie. And I'm thinking, I lived here for 9 years. Dude's never sat in the house and even watched a TV show with me. He don't really like me. He don't like to hang with me. Now, is it because I don't toki? Is it because of that? I don't know. But you got a guy that murdered one of your friends that supposedly hurt you so bad that you didn't visit him in prison. And you got a guy that's treated you solid your whole life, that's helped you out any way he could. And he's over there watching the movie with a guy that murdered one of his friends. I mean, I can't figure this stuff out. Can you? So yeah, the letters is going to be very clear. Everyone in this house is dead to me. Don't talk to me. Don't even come around here because I'm going to have an edged weapon in my hand when you see me. Over. Done. You know, it takes a lot to bring that out in me. That kind of hate. You know, not a hateful person. And I can't tell you everything on here. I guess I need to clean the lens there. But this kind of ugliness, as far as verbally, spiritually, psychologically, well, not quite photogenically. You don't need to see all that clear anyway. A little Vaseline on the lens ain't gonna matter. But yeah, the more I'm thinking about the idea, and I've been thinking about it since I don't know what banging I heard in the building, but something woke me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Because, I mean, I had gabapentin in me, and I had at least 3 volumes in me, and I am not going to wake up from that without provocation. Now, this guy that lives here, okay, I took a nap. He starts whacking on the air conditioner with a trowel, like a gardening trowel, and saying, "Wake up, you slept long enough, you had your nap," you know, okay? Um, and then when he wants to play poker, all he's doing is the family tradition. If it was a country song, there might even be a country song called that. Get, Getting hammered to the point where he's drinking bong water. And then I got him and I got his girlfriend accusing me of having a big mouth because the other guy in the building, in the wheelchair, he asked me, he said, "I thought you said blank had a job," even though I've already said his name on him. And I said, "I did say he had a job. He don't have it no more. He got fired." And I said this at a separate time. And then another time, it cracked me up that the landlord is such a fool that he signed this guy to a year lease without even checking into his unemployment history. So naturally, since I'm surrounded by such beautiful, kind, generous, magnanimous, wonderful people, the guy narcs uh, the vet out to the landlord, like the landlord's his buddy. So now I'm Mr. Big Mouth. This guy's accusing me of lying, and I'm saying, no, I wasn't lying to you. I was saying the guy was a hard worker, complimenting the guy. He was a hard worker. He got fired from the place he was working. He was working 12-hour shifts, but he's got anger issues, and his mouth got him fired. He's such a good worker, as a matter of fact. They got a 10-point system, demerit system, and he has 17 points on it. And they were still letting him work because he's a worker. Okay. So anyway, so they're giving me shit about that. Like, I got a big mouth now because I don't want to lie for them. I'm like, what are we in the Cosa Nostra? I was like, look, lady, do you know what omerta means? She's like, no. Omerta means code of silence. It's part of a mafia thing. Are we in the mafia? You know. So I could get somewhere where I'm surrounded by a better quality of people. And people that aren't on substances, that aren't, clouding their fucking minds with substances. I mean, I will say one thing for benzodiazepines. They do not impair logic and rationality unless you don't have them. and you're going through some pretty severe withdrawal. That's my experience with them. If you don't think I'm a rational person and you disagree, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But um, if you got people, I don't give a damn who they are, and the only time they talk to you, call you, or reach out to you is because they want money. They want something. They're just users. And part of the Dear House letter will be people in this house are clinical narcissists with various touches of sociopathy. And I said, if you don't understand what that means, get yourself a psychology book and look it up. And I'm like, was composing the letter in my head while I'm watching the Indians kick the twins' ass, wishing I was asleep. Because this shit fucks me up. Now this dude, he ain't right. Okay, the dude that live in the building, he ain't right. He ain't right for reasons. Okay, maybe those people ain't right for reasons. But this guy, he ain't borrowing money off of me. He ain't stingy with the cigarettes like my brother-in-law. He didn't even trick me one time into buying him a free pack of cigarettes, and then later on, when he was getting high, pull a full pack of cigarettes out from underneath his couch in front of me on my birthday. So, I'm moving out of here anyway. The problem is money situation's tight. Now I got the 4 months rent. I plunked down. I got 2 months left on free rent. That'll help. Um, but I had to plunk down $565 for that scooter so I could bust up my leg because you can't let a deal like that pass. But I think you got it about the hate thing. I just spent a whole night just filled with hate, which is no way to feel. So we'll move on to news of the scooter thing. Now, how they were, I actually have two scooters in my house already. I got the one that works that's dangerous, and I got the one that doesn't work because Roy, who knocked out, whatever, knocked out the guy to the landlord. And then they come back on me on it. They want me to lie for him. Okay. He gave me back his scooter, and I'm going to try to sell it as broken on eBay for whatever I can get it for. Um, so another thing that happened is like, so I got all these scooters, right? So I'm calling Miller Scooter Company, and I'm at square one with the motherfuckers. Is because the doctor asked them to refax the paperwork from May 22nd. Okay, 8/22 is coming up. So we're talking about 4 wasted months. And I talked to him yesterday, and she was like, well, I asked him, um, I told him about the situation, and they want me to refax the paperwork, but I haven't heard from them. What's that? You know. So I got a doctor's appointment. I might have to punch myself in the legs to refresh my bruises. I'm gonna go in there in shorts, because as you've seen, that is an ugly sight. Me walking. I don't usually wear shorts to spare other people what that looks like. It's not a matter of even vanity. I mean, I wear shorts when I go out on the porch and stuff. It's not a matter of vanity, but if I'm going someplace, it's usually, unfortunately these days, a doctor's office or something like that. I'm not going to sit there in shorts any more than if I was a great big fat woman wearing spandex. It's just rude. Nobody wants to look at that. It's ugly. Well, somebody asked to look at it on YouTube, so I went ahead and did. And then I find out now that this is the only phone that I got. It's this government phone, right? It is what, maybe the 10th of August, something like that. The next time I get free minutes loaded into it is in 12 days. I had the mistaken impression that I could buy 5 minutes at a time. It won't let me buy any minutes now because you get to buy your minutes once a month because this is about money. I should know that everything's about money. I mean, I'm an old man. I get naive. I'm a naive old man who has a very, very, very long fuse that goes boom real loud. But anyways, so now I can't. This is dead. I don't have a phone now. Okay, for 12 days. I got an appointment with the psychiatric community on Monday. Um, so my doctor's appointment is on the 28th. So I have a phone by the 28th, but I have no phone now uh, because you're only allowed to what they call top up these Lifeline phones once a month. If you pick $5 and 250 minutes of talk, that's all you get. They won't let you buy $35 worth of minutes. That's all you get because I tried to buy 15 minutes and it wouldn't let me do it. You just get the one time. I thought it was a pay as you go type of thing where I could just pay $5 as I go, but no, that wouldn't make them any money. Which I guess I could see it from their point of view, even though this is supposed to be government funded for people of very low income or very low health. So now I got no phone. I can still text, but I know people that are from the Stone Ages that don't have that capability. And one of them is my brother, but he's a lot less emotionally dependent on me these days, so he'll survive. My voice is going. Excuse me. But yeah, so this guy wants to play poker, and he wants to very angry, one probably the most angry person that I've ever met. I mean, I'm not sure why he did it, but he punched his mailbox and left a monkey bubble like this on his knuckle, and the swelling went down on it. He punched his the house when he's beating up the house. This is a separate time than the first time I told you that he was beating up the house. Until there was blood on the house, which he actually likes and didn't want to wash off. That's his calling card, and talks about wanting to see his own blood and stuff. So this is who Gerald decides to sign a year lease to. Still better than the meth heads. Still better than having a crack business. This guy just buys and uses, and he just sticks to alcohol and weed. The alcohol is what affects his anger. There's an very old movie starring Jason Robards where there was like four types of drunks, or the four stages of drinking, and I can't remember them, but it might have been called A Christmas to Remember. But there was the Lachrymose, that was the weepy, and there was the Bellicose, that was the angry, and then there was the Lachrym. I don't remember. I just remember the Bellicose. Well, this guy's a Bellicose. He gets angry. He gets really angry. The more and sour expression. It's like, why would you keep doing that? The angrier, if it's gonna make you angry, you know. I mean, I don't understand. It's not my thing, fortunately. So I don't understand drinking. You know, maybe he gets angry that he's got a drink. I don't know. But I know that I've watched him bleed several times. I've watched him beat the shit out of the house several times. Can't really afford to spend any more money on him to get him a punching bag. All his money gets. Dude has an incredible tolerance. Incredible tolerance. So, you know, what would last me back in my smoking days, uh, anywhere from 3 weeks to a month, might last him 2 days to 4 days. You know, and this is like the new stuff they got out after they made it, because after they made it legal. The stuff on the street has to keep pace with what the legal stuff is. It also has to be cheaper than what the legal stuff is. So this stuff is strong. I mean, it's, out of habit, you offer. I'm like, no, I need to live. I don't need my heart kicking, you know. And so just to live here, I've had to increase my volume intake, because I don't know about you, but it kind of like ruffles my feathers when people are knocking on my door at 3 in the morning, or beating the shit out of my door, literally like a heavy bag at 11:30, and I'm dealing with police and taking custody for people, or they're beating on my trowel while it's still light out and I'm taking a nap, beating on my trowel, beating on my air conditioner with a trowel, because they want to play cards, or they want company or something. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I haven't been keeping track. I mean, I'm not. I was ahead on however many of these things I had. These are the gabapentin, but I took two of them trying to go to sleep. I got too much on my mind to go to sleep, and I started getting into that hate thing, where I'm like, I just don't understand, people that are like that, like, especially with that history, especially with our history. We grew up together. They called him Little Barton because I protected him. I got him out of so many jams. I helped him out financially. I was actually uh, put $200 toward their getting their furnace fixed last winter. I actually supported him through his mom's illness. He didn't do the same for me, you know. And then this guy has the gall to move my boat outside without consulting me, and then not even look up how to take care of it properly, and cost me $900, and then not offer me one thin dime in recompense for ruining a motor that's worth $300 and $400 just from improper care, by not pulling the drain plug on a boat and leaving it outside without even asking me about it being left outside. And a way to look at that is like, well, that's your property. Maybe you should have looked up. I think of things from different angles. So it's like, maybe you should have looked up, um, how to take care of the boat. Well, I had other things on my mind, like knee surgeries, trying to learn how to walk, dealing with at the time, that would be, I was probably, I'm jumping too far in time. I was probably worried about crack sales at the time, or meth sales, or domestic violence, or whether I should be calling the police, or exactly how insane my landlord actually is. Insane enough to say things like, not that much cold air comes up from the basement in your bedroom. And I'm like, we do not sleep together because I don't pay the rent that way. thinking to myself, but, how insane is this guy? This guy is so insane that he's seen me in murder mode, and then he was thinking about stopping by and talking to me face to face. It's like, are you out of your goddamn mind? Coming from where I come from? Yeah, I don't even think I have to mull. I'm not mulling over the boat decision at all. I may mull over the dead decision. Like, all you people are dead to me. But I mean, that really was kind of the final straw, because the most decent person in that household is the oldest person, and they're gonna chew me out about like I could stop this guy from going over there. About actually looking out for. She chewing me out about looking out for their interests, trying to calm this guy down, trying to get him mellow and zen and real and understanding his goals or whatever. His goals is he doesn't like being estranged. He doesn't feel it's right. Blah blah blah. Unless he's feeding me lines of bullshit, who knows? And then giving him some volume and just talking, just playing psychologist, talking him down for a little while before I send him over there. So I send him over there, which I couldn't stop him from going over there anyway. He knocks on my door and he says, "You want to take a walk?" And I keep telling him, "Dude, I can't walk. I can't walk to take out the garbage." You know. And so I do all that, like I said. I know I'm repeating myself. But that was the final straw, to get chewed out over that. To get chewed out over that. That's your bad behavior from your alcoholism, from the way you raised your daughter. That's the son. That's the chicken coming home to roost. And you're gonna complain to me about it. You're gonna complain to me about your health and how that's putting extra stress, and how you can't handle extra stress because you have a heart condition. I'm pretty sure she picked me up from the hospital after I got cardioverted once. I don't give a damn how old she is. She's mentally intact. What kind of excuse can I make for that? You know? It's like, I'm just, all I am to them is a bank. You know? They don't like me. I don't know if they're capable of liking other people. I don't understand it. I don't understand any of it. I don't understand how, you know, you can watch a movie with somebody that murdered a friend of yours, but you can't stay and visit me for half an hour. He can't stay here for half an hour without getting antsy. And he's allowed to smoke cigarettes here. He's allowed to smoke weed here. You know. The dude don't like me, apparently. I mean, what other conclusion? He will tell me, like, "I love you, man." I'm just gonna tell him in the letter, as like don't come around here trying to fix this, because I'm gonna have an edged weapon in my hand if I see you. Don't even fucking drive down my street. Don't even let me see you driving down my street. That's where I'm at. And it's not a nice way to feel. It's not nice having your throat tore up from cigarettes. It's not nice dealing with people that are hurt, hurt worse than me. You know, it's not nice dealing with all that on top of all my other problems. It's not nice having 2 hours of sleep and not knowing if there was somebody knocking on your door just because they're hammered and wanted more company. When they couldn't go to sleep for nightmares from being in a war or what the fuck ever. I mean, no. And another thing is, you may remember this if you actually are a follower of mine. I always feel funny saying that because I don't like followers. But if you actually watch me, then I put down a $20 limit. I said, look, Okay, I'm forgiving all debts here. The $200 for the furnace from last year, I said, you don't have to pay that. And by the way, my brother-in-law, the boat guy, says, but I might need to, he says sheepishly, but it was the truth coming out. But what if I need to borrow more money from you? You know. So I just let myself be used for all these years. And then you get that feeling also, like, the feeling I have with Gerald is like, sucker. Like you should have a big wrap around your head and be a stick. Sucker. You know, you just believe in con people. Like, I thought I had a good landlord, you know. He's telling me, like, well, I can't really do anything about the crack sales around here because, you know, they can come back on me legally if it's not true. And it's just all a bunch of bullshit. And I'm such a sucker. And he's such a good con man that I'm believing him when all he's thinking is, like, I got paying renters up there. I don't care how I get the money. And then sucker, as far as like these people here thinking they actually like me. I haven't heard from any of them. I don't never, you know what, 9 times out of 10, they want something. They want something from me. And you know, what does that do to my self-esteem? You know, not a whole hell of a lot. Because let's face it, I love myself. I am a good dude. I'm an honest dude. I help people out when they need help. And I'm compassionate. And I can't say I'm handsome no more. But I'm witty. I got a lot of things going for me. As far as up here, personality wise. But say I didn't have that kind of self-esteem. You know, what am I, some kind of fucking masochist? That's what it is I think. I just have masochistic tendencies, you know. I think it's some kind of self-worth thing from childhood, from feeling like a renter in my own house, you know. It's like from from my own childhood, like, here, let me help you with this. Here, let me give you this. Here, let me help you with this. Let me do this for you. Part of that is my nature, okay? And part of that has to be also masochism, you know. But I'm only a masochist to a certain point. I'm not a sadist, you know. But I will spell it out. And I will write a Dear House letter. I don't know if anybody's ever written a Dear House letter before, but I will write a Dear House letter. Because I'm done. I'm just done. You know, what am I getting out of these relationships? I'm getting a lighter wallet. That's what I'm getting out of them. I'm getting insulted. You know, I'm, that's an insult. If you're gonna tell me, I got a person living in my building that I interact with every day, that goes over to your house for one day, and I'm getting chewed out because I'm putting them under stress because they have health problems. You know, that's freaking insulting. So I'm getting insulted. I'm getting taken. My wallet's getting lightened, and I'm just being used. You know, and these people are just hustlers. These are the people that I actually move. That's sucker. Let me take off that wrapper now. Okay, wrapper's gone. Actually moved into this neighborhood with ideas of having a nice time here. I'm not going to run through what happened to me in this neighborhood and be repetitive for my loyal followers. Nobody should follow anybody, man. Follow the truth, follow reason, follow logic, don't follow people. But, of course, I mean if you listen to me on a regular basis. But, yeah, I just got to take that wrapper off my head, man. Not be a sucker no more. Because that's all I am. I mean, maybe they can't help the fact that they're clinical narcissists tinged with varying degrees of sociopathy because of the way they were raised. My dad couldn't help being maybe the way he was, you know, with Benny Blade. I think that was in The Client. There was a character of the John Grisham novel. There was a guy named Benny the Blade. No, there's also a Black Sabbath song called Johnny Blade that I was thinking of. But this is me exhausted and dopey, but coming to some very, very bitter conclusions. Because it's difficult being alone, you know. It's difficult being alone and relying on government agencies and stuff. And they still won't come in my house and help me with my housework, you know. Um, they'll help me run errands, which is cool. That's fine. Now, um, but I still got the bad knee, and it's still hard for me to lift and pick things up. It's not hard for me to lift. I'm pretty strong, but as far as carrying like stuff, like all these bagged up bags over here in the corner, might well have something to look at besides my ugly ass. You stay with us this long. Oh, can you see those bags in the corner over there? Okay. You probably saw the 8-foot hole in the wall still. It ain't going nowhere. I don't even know what I'm showing you, or the hole in the ceiling, the mismatched tiling, you know. But I gotta clean stuff out of here. And that's hard for me, carrying stuff and walking. You know, lifting I can do, but working that knee tortures me. So I had something else I was gonna say. Can't quite remember it, but I'm not sure. Like I I did ask the scooter lady about do they do have like follow up care, you know, or they do they take anti con man measures of making sure you're actually using the scooter or checking in on your doctor's health and like, or is it like, you know, your doctor said you need this, here it is, bye bye, see you in the next life. But either way, I'm putting that thing in the hallway. I already told Roy this, even though Roy narked, you know, repeated what I said, narked me out, and got me called names by those two people. Basically, Big Mouth. Uh, it's for not lying for them. It's like, I don't know you people well enough to lie for you, and we're not in the mafia. But anyways, I told Roy that I would store the medical scooter, because I got the big beastie scooter anyways, but store it in the hallway and get a logging chain. I don't know how heavy it's going to be anyway, but get a logging chain and tie the wheels down and find some way to secure it, and then let him have a key for it. Um, of course, Roy being Roy, and not the nicest guy in the world, he basically gave a no comment to it. But I'm gonna do it anyway, because that's how I roll, you know. But as far as the people in that house over there, you know, just using me and then abusing me, that shit's over with. Over. So we're gonna call this one a Dear House letter. I don't know why I feel the urge to unplug this. I don't even know what it goes to. I don't think it went to the microphone, so we're all good. Nah, hate's an awful emotion, man. You know, it puts it, but it's also can be a logical emotion too. Now, when I was hating on my sister, 12, 27, 17, that was a different That's different than this. That was much more poisonous. I was also in the grip of Xanax, which is not Valium. There's still benzodiazepines, and people like to say, "Oh, they're all the same," but trust me, they are not all the same. This that was when I was at my lowest, you know, and then the old boot crush, the old kick in the ribs, and she also put up her daughter, who I'm real fond of, and it tearing into me like a Wolverine, on the phone one night right before I go to sleep, and saying that she was going to disown me and whatnot. And I'm like, I didn't even know what you're talking about. Who's telling you these things? Like I'm talking about your back. You're like the one person I never have anything to say about, bad about. Or like I'm proud of you. You know, is what they, you know. And it was what happened was her mom realized that she ruined a valuable relationship, and she had spelled out in a letter how she could fix it, but she's either too prideful, thinks it's too late, or doesn't want to make herself that vulnerable to where she's like, "Look, I fucked up. You know, you had a breakdown after 29 years. You know, with the bolts and the screws and the removed vertebrae and the removed rib and the CRPS and all the hell you've been through. I think you probably had a right to a little better treatment than to be chided and told that I don't have time for you. I told you I was getting dressed. What do you want me to do about your problems?" You know, when a person's having a breakdown, I think, you know, she just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't talk to her. But I wrote her in a letter that I just needed to acknowledge the significance of that. That, you know, that's 29 years. I held my mud, if you want to use an Army expression, for 29 years. And then I just happened to have the misfortune of picking her to have a little breakdown and cry. First time she seen me cry in 29 years, all the hell I've been through. And you know, that's a different kind of hate, because of all the support that I had thrown her all those years, and because I was broken down. I'm not broken down now, you know. But it's still hate. It's still a very unpleasant emotion. It's very unpleasant to have drunk people, which is I think what happened, knock on your door at 3 o'clock in the morning when you've had 2 hours sleep, forcing you to make YouTube videos that people might find depressing. Hopefully you will find this interesting. But, you know, um, hey, I'm not a liar. Despite one of my biggest fans' accusations, I make mistakes. I contradict myself, but I'm not a liar. And I'm not on here to lie to nobody. If I was on here to sweet talk y'all and to oh, you poor cripple, let's give him some money, or oh, build up a following, I wouldn't know how to do that. And get subscribers, make money off of YouTube. That's not what this is about. This is about being your best psychiatrist. This is about self analysis. Sometimes it's about entertainment value, but mostly it's about honesty, because you got to be honest with yourself. You got to look yourself in the mirror and say, look, you're a sucker. This guy called me gullible once when I was, when we were like 20, 21 years old. And he's right. And he took advantage of me for 30 years. He took advantage of that gullibility. Now, if he calls me out on it, and I threatened to kick his ass that day, and he was like, he didn't believe I could do it because I had a metal rod in his back, and then I saw the belief seep into his eyes. And when I said, "You don't think I will do it?" because he remembered all the ass whippings of Christmas past, you know, that weighs on you. That weighs on you. If somebody's beating your ass up a dozen times through your childhood and you're into adulthood, metal rod in the back or no metal rod in the back, it's in your mind. So I could see his, you know, his calmitude. I'm gonna make up a word. Evaporate when he after he called me gullible. But that is the truth. I'm gullible and I'm foolish, and like my one psychologist said, I hold people to too high of a standard. I hold them to my standards. You know, if I would have done that to somebody's property, I'm not saying I would replace the property, but a couple $100 is coming their way. You know, because I'll be like, look, I didn't mean to do this. It was just out of ignorance. Here's a couple $100. Not a dollar, not a quarter, not a dime, not even really a sincere apology for it. It's just like, oh, shit happens. You know, how am I supposed to take that? All he cared about is whether I was mad about it or not. And and then the day that I was chilling out the fat guy to go over there, he's got to drag my name into it. No, granted, this is the guy that's uh, girlfriend's saying I have a big mouth when I'm just telling the truth. But he's dragging my name on it, and he's like, and Steve doesn't like the boat guy either. You know, so that's I get that too on the phone. With I have health problems. I can't handle this kind of stress. I got a heart condition. She's like, "What's this with you?" And I'm gonna have to edit this now. And I'm like, well, didn't take care of my property. It cost me $900, and I got $5 in the bank. How's that sound? All he had to do was check out and look at the boat and not see a foot of water. How are you supposed to sell a boat with a foot of water in it? And she acted like she didn't know about that, or maybe he didn't tell her about that. I don't know. That would not be something I would brag about. So I don't know. Anyways, I don't know what to do now because I feel miserable, full of hate, and I ain't sleepy. The Indians are kicking the Twins' ass, but I had to take a break because I had this stuff on my mind. And when I watch a baseball game, I like to watch a baseball game. I won't watch a baseball game with somebody that's talking over it unless they're commentating on the plays or offering an opinion on the play. And they're talking about the flowers outside. I ain't want to watch a baseball game with you. Um, but anyways, I just had to take a break from it and maybe um, take some of this poison and articulate it and make it into something that might be entertaining to somebody. That's all. You know. And I don't know what makes me like that. Maybe that's I don't know. Maybe I'll ask my psychiatrist guy to analyze me and say like, why am I like that? Why am I nice to people that treat me like shit? Is it because I follow my own code regardless of how people treat me? Or is it because I'm a dumbass? Is it because I'm a masochist? I think it's because I have masochistic tendencies, and I have like deep down I have a low sense of self worth. So I want to make people like me by like generosity. I think part of that is like I'm like a Buddhist as far as material possessions. I don't get attached. I sold a 1960 Gibson archtop for almost nothing, and I saw one in a pawn shop that they wanted over 2,000 for, like $2,250 for. That wasn't in as good a shape as mine. And I sold it for like nothing because it's just a thing to me, you know. I never really got proficient with it anyway, that particular guitar. If I got proficient with the guitar, that's a different story. But that's never happened before, so I got my carving. I got my one guitar that I'm not hideous with, that I like the feel of, with the ebony fretboard that may have seen me play on here. Now my head is splitting, and I think it's time to go. And I got to put this in Muvavi and edit out that guy's name, because I said his name. But yeah, I certainly hope the people in your life that claim to love you treat you better. That's all. I'm. I've got a great story to tell, right? I'm talking to another family member, one I'm actually pretty fond of. The dude ain't listening to the story. I am a good storyteller. Say what you want to about me, but I can tell a damn yarn. Okay? And he ain't even listening. You know, it's a story with the police and the cops and me signing the custody thing where I own a person for a night, I guess. I didn't know slavery was legal. But really what it meant is like you're taking him into your custody. Like maybe a citizen's arrest. I don't know. Maybe it means like if he fucks up, I'm the one that gets in trouble. I don't know what it meant. I didn't read it. I just signed it. But it's a good goddamn story is the point. And this guy ain't even listening to me. So I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like telling a story anymore. And he goes, no, 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 I'm listening. I was like, no, I just don't feel like telling it anymore. You know. So I just hope that the people in your life treat you better. And if anybody treats you like that, don't be a sucker, man. Unwrap it. Unwrap. I don't mean to offend any of Islamic faith or anything like that when I'm making this gesture. But, like, take that wrapper off your head, man. And don't be no sucker. Don't let nobody treat you bad. And just treat you bad. And don't let them get away with it just because they're family. You know? That's my advice. Take it or leave it. And family, for me, they always get a couple extra chances. But after the 300th chance, no, you should always just always take care of yourself and never let nobody treat you bad. Now the sun's come up and the lens is still foggy. I don't know why that would be. And the world is still the world. And I imagine the vet won't let me sleep no more because he'll be like knocking, pounding on my door saying, you wanted me to pick up your prescription. You know, I don't know what the hell I heard, but it sounded like somebody knocking on my door. It takes a lot to wake me up off of that. So he's probably going to wake me up again. And my life continues to be not quite a living hell, but it continues to be, shall we say, challenging. I think that's a fair assessment. Anyways, like I said, I hope the people in your life treat you better. That's all. And if they do treat you bad, you ain't doing them any favors, and you ain't doing yourself any favors by letting somebody treat you bad, because you're allowing them to continue to be a scumbag at your expense. And maybe after this Dear House letter, maybe it'll wake them up. Or maybe they won't care. Maybe they're so sociopathic they'll be like, we tapped him dry. Let's go find another well. But anyways, cheery, cheery, merry, merry. Think happy thoughts. This is just my life. This is just a spectacle for you to enjoy. So you don't have to feel nothing on my account. Nobody does, man. just enjoy the ride, because this is a strange set of circumstances I happen to be under. A very, very strange set of circumstances. And it's got to have some entertainment value, I figure. So, you don't need to feel bad for me or sorry for me, or you feel however you want to feel better. You can feel amused at my pain. I would not care, because entertainment is entertainment, and it is what we value the most in society. And if they laughing at you or they laughing with you, they still laughing.